Dance of Resolute Will, right? The event is about to end in like about an hour, so I have to do this real quick before I end up not doing it at all. So, during the 6th phase, a vibrant and lively melody, as you can tell, it's my highest scoring one. They have a character available, a very specific character that I really enjoy, Baizhu. So, the thing is that my Baizhu is C6R5. C6R5 because he is my favorite character, and I do not regret my decision. However, since he is C6R5, it occurred to me when I looked at this level 80 Baizhu, I was like, clearly they're not going to have my stats on this character, so this character is probably going to be C0 with a free-to-play weapon. So I was just like, I wonder. And then a friend of mine was like, compare them, make a video, and I'm like, you know what? That's a pretty good idea, and that's what I'm doing. And I only have an hour to do so. So, just to prove that I do in fact have weapon, Jade Frost Splendor, level 90 R5, and of course, his Constellation C6. Love Baizhu, he's my absolute favorite character. So, I'm going to do a comparison. Free-to-play versus Whale Baizhu. We're going to see how different this is. Now, I've already went in to check to make sure that I can actually do this. So that's why he's listed as the only party member, because I had to make sure I had to. So I just had to make sure I had to link the one character. So we're going to do his, and we're going to see. Yeah, I already knew. We're going to see the difference between a quote-unquote free-to-play Baizhu versus a whale Baizhu, okay? I don't know how well this is going to go. In fact, I don't think it's going to go well at all. First off, I'll show you his stats. He has 36k HP, 1.1k attack, and 105 EM. Crit to crit damage doesn't really matter for a healer set, but he has a 35 plus 35 healing bonus and a 186 energy recharge. Weapon is prototype Amber, level 80, rank 1. This is one of the weapons you can get, I believe. Is it from Mondstadt? I forget. Anyway, basically you get it from the craftsman. Artifact-wise, the running two-piece HP percent, which is a little strange. And no dendro damage, it's all HP. Obviously 0-0. And then 888. So I'm going to go see how well or how hard this is going to be with this kind of Baizhu. Now please keep in mind that I have
side effects.
A C6
Seems like an emergency.
Baizhu, so I'm very much used to using my Baizhu as a C6.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor will see.
I'm obviously not going to get that far because this is not a DPS build.
A bitter pill to swallow. You're open. You're open.
Ow! Eh, stop hitting me! I'm a healer, you bastard. Actually, hit me. I want to see how well this Baizhu heals.
Not my glasses.
Not my glasses! I'm so sorry, Baizhu. This is for science. It's for science, Baizhu. Sorry. Okay, so how well does he heal?
A bitter pill to swallow. You're open.
Only 9k.
Turn for the better. You're open.
The doctor will see.
You're open. You're open.
Ow. Let me charge attack, you bastard. I have been spoiled by this man's shield. Blind. This is awful. This is dreadful.
You're open. This is nothing. You're open. A bitter pill to swallow. You're open.
I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. So we just saw how awful that went, right? I didn't even get past the first wave of enemies. Again, to be fair, this is a healer build, not a DPS build. And plus, Baizhu works pretty well with, because he's dendro, he works well with Electro, right? So that would make him a lot stronger. But just by himself, as a healer build isn't too great.
Seems like an emergency.
I'm not too worried about Rift Towns anymore. I used to be really worried when they introduced these characters, these enemies into Genshin. Like, nah, fuck that. I'm not touching these things with a 10-foot pole. Fuck Inazuma. But now that I have, you know, Baizhu, who is a very good healer, I'm not as worried. Maybe I am a little bit worried, actually. I'm lying to you.
Taking a turn for the better.
Taking a turn for the better.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor was seen.
Remember, health comes first. A bitter pill to swallow.
You bastard, I hit the dodge button, I swear I did. You can tell that I don't know how to dodge. You can tell I have zero practice with learning how to dodge.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Completed with a score of 0. We're gonna go select stage. So yeah, not surprising that I got nothing done there. Absolutely jack shit done. Absolutely. So I do want to keep in mind that that is basically, how should I explain this? A free-to-play Baizhu. Healer Baizhu. Now, we're going to go and do the same exact thing, but with my Baizhu. I'm going to check to make sure he's built. Be right back. Alright, so I had to make sure he was built correctly. Because I'm currently using Kuki Shinobu in my party, and I just give her his artifacts just to make it easier on myself, so I don't have to like get new artifacts. Anyway, he's built. We're going to use my C6R5 Baizhu. This is a healer main Baizhu, not a DPS one. However, I'm going to do a third round that is with a DPS set. That's going to be fun. So, yep. Totally fine. So we're going to see what the difference is based on... as a healer, not as a DPS, the difference between an F2P Baizhu and someone who, like, is not F2P. Again, C6R5, again, I'll show you in a second. Again, this is my Baizhu at 48k HP, 1.4 attack, 56 elemental mastery, along with a 14 to 77 ratio for crit. Healing bonus is only 15%, but he also has only 144 energy recharge. Weapon is, again, R5 Jadefall Splendor. Artifacts. Now, I run my Baizhu with a 4-piece Maiden Beloved. The reason why I run him with this instead of, like, Clam, because I know Clam's really good for Baizhu, is because this is a set I already had pre-farmed for Diono back when I first started the game. And it just so happened to have all HP pieces because her shield is based off HP. So I kept them just in case, and so here they are. And wait, I can't view my own artifacts? What do you mean? You liar. What? What do you mean I can't view my own? Anyway, yeah, here are the details in case you wanted to know more about how I built mine. Again, this is pure HP. So he has a HP hat, cup, and sands. There's a lot of defense on this set, which is why you see that he has a bit of defense. I didn't check the defense on the other Baizhu, but that's why, because he has one of my artifacts pieces has like 17% defense. Constellation, C6, and talents are he is triple crowned, obviously. I didn't go over the Constellation Overview for the first one, but I want to do that real quickly. First one, he gains an additional charge for his skill. Oh boy, okay. Basically, when your character hits a nearby enemy, Baizhu will let out an extra bit of damage from his skill. Constellation 3 is a burst? Yeah, burst, because it's the shield. And then Constellation 4 elemental mastery by 80% when you use the skill. I get so confused when I read Constellations, I'm so sorry. And then C5 is obviously the burst, and then this one, you get a bonus for a damage bonus for the. I am so sorry. I'm struggling to word. Basically, you get a damage bonus for your skill based on your HP. And on top of that, this one right here, this little second section. Additionally, when a Gossamer Sprite or Gossamer Sprite Splice hits opponents, there is a 100% chance of generating one of the skill's shields. This effect can only be triggered by once by each Sprite or Sprite Splice. So yeah, there is a big difference between that and F2P Baizhu. My Baizhu is that I'm getting shields constantly because of the way his kit works. So we're going to see if it's different. Number-wise, I don't think I'm going to be doing too much more damage, but I do think I'm going to be more consistent. Not consistent, better with my healing, that's for sure. Anyway.
Mind the side effects. Taking a turn for the better. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects.
Off with you! Off with their heads!
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow. You're open.
My sound stopped for a second. I don't know why that is.
First. A bitter pill to swallow.
Dodge this! Sounds very British. Also, where the fuck did your snake go, Baizhu?
Taking a turn for the better. A bitter pill to swallow. Fury, you're open. Mind the side effects. Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow. You're open, Fury. You're open. Remember, health comes first.
The doctor will see you now.
As you could tell already, I was able to take care of 4 more enemies in that round than I was in the first one. Mostly because the damage of his skill is based on his HP. He has 48k. I tried to get him at 50k. I think I need to refigure out his flower or his feather, because obviously I'm rocking HP percent on my other 3 artifacts. But, yeah, mostly because his skill is based, like, his skill's damage is based off his HP, so the more HP he has, the more damage he'll do. And since I have 2 charges and attacks 3 enemies, it's quite a lot of not only orb generation, but a lot of damage. So that's probably why I'm not probably, that is why I'm doing so much more damage this time around.
A bitter pill to swallow. Seems like an emergency. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to do a healing comparison. Hold on, let me get hit.
I can't fall here.
Yeah, 14k! That's a very big difference in the 9k that you have for the F2P Baizhu. That's almost, well, like 7k? 7k more?
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor will see you now.
Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effects.
The doctor will see you.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow.
Cool post to end it off. So yeah, in comparison, I only got a zero fucking score in comparison to this one where I got a 404. Error. 404, page not found. So yeah, you can obviously tell that there's a big difference from F2P Baizhu versus Whale Baizhu. On top of that, I'm also running a different set, and I don't think I have the ability to run a two-piece, because I don't even have two-piece Millilith at all, period. I know it says I do, but that's because it's from the Chasm, and I don't want to use those pieces, because they're event pieces. So, yeah, that's healing difference between a C6R5 and an F2P version. On top of that, there's also a bit of an artifact difference, because obviously artifacts are never entirely equal, especially in comparison with the ones that Hoyoverse gives us as trial characters, so there's always that to consider. But there's obviously a very clear difference. A very clear difference between C0 and non-main weapon versus C6R5. Now, I'm going to go back. Going to put on my DPS set. And we're going to see how much damage he can do. Okay? So, BRB. Alright, I'm back. I have fixed up my Baizhu to now to have a DPS set. We're going to go back in. Same one we did before. Yeah, one party, one person. We're going to see what the difference is between all three. This is specifically a sort of quote-unquote solo DPS set. Specifically only for Baizhu by himself. Necessarily, you can build him in multiple different ways in order to make him more of a DPS character. But each way is going to be a bit more unique depending on the situation. So, we're going to take a look at that. So, he now has 22k HP, 1.7k attack, and 72 elemental mastery. Now, his elemental mastery in this case does not matter because he's not doing any reactions at all, period. So, details. Crit rate to crit damage is now 69 to 186, and his energy recharge is 118, and his shield strength is 35. I've changed his weapon to Lost Prayer of the Sacred Winds, refinement rank 3. This sort of leads on to being, like, sort of more whale territory than F2P, giving its rank 3, but every single one of these I've gotten, I've gotten 2 of these from Standard and 1 of these from Weapon Banner, so technically having a rank 3 is sort of F2P, I guess. Now, obviously, he's still C6. That doesn't change, so are his talents, but artifacts. I give him 4-piece retracing bow life for the shield strength plus, when protected by a shield, he gains a normal and charge attack damage bonus of 40%. Given the fact that his entire kit is based on shield, and he now gains the shield. No, sorry, C2. He now gains a shield every time you attack somebody. And it triggers once every 5 seconds. Right? So, he should be getting enough attack damage. Oh my god, brain, please function. Enough attack damage based on this. Now, the difference is that, obviously I can't check it, but he's wearing an attack sans and not an HP sans. Here's why this matters, is because, again, his skill is based off of his HP. Am I dumb? I might be dumb. Hold on. Is it not based off his HP? Am I stupid? I might be stupid. So I thought his attack, basically I thought his skill was his damage was based on his HP. It may not be. I may have been stupid this entire time. Anyway, doesn't matter. Basically, you could go HP and it would still technically function with his skill, but attack will work better if you're running a DPS set like I am, because he's going to be doing a lot of attacking. And again, I can't check anything. So, let's go. Let's do this last test.
The doctor was singing.
Taking a turn for the better. You're open. You're open. A bitter pill to swallow.
Ow.
The doctor was singing.
Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effects. A bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah.
The doctor was singing.
Stop hitting me. I'm trying to hit the skill. Thank you.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Oh, there's no one else here but you. Oh. I thought the other guy was still behind me.
The doctor was singing.
Dodge this and I don't even get it. I think I'm gonna stop trying to do my fucking charge attack because I almost get, like, animation canceled.
The doctor was singing.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects. Not my.
Ow. Ow. Okay, obviously, big difference between healer and non-healer Baizhu. He's now a harmacist. I'm never gonna get over the allegations of Baizhu being a harmacist and not a pharmacist. Oh, the jokes are so funny. Anyway.
Remember, health comes first. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects.
Your only issue with these guys is that they're draining my HP a lot faster than I can smack them dead. So,
Situation.
I know, I'm working on it.
A bitter pill to swallow.
I don't know how I dodged that, to be honest.
The doctor was
Nope,
seen.
nope, didn't dodge that.
Taking a turn for the better. A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor was seen.
The good thing is that them being all grouped up is I can just charge check and they can't animation cancel my ass.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor was seen.
I'm hurting. I'm hurting. Oh, I'm so hurting so bad.
I can still keep going. Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effects.
Yeah, I got rid of 2 waves that time. 2 waves. So yeah, between 0404 and 1140, definitely a big difference. Definitely a very big difference between F2P Whale and then let's just go full on attack mode. I don't recommend people build Baizhu as a DPS. He's always not built to be a DPS, but it's fun. Also, I just love Baizhu altogether. He's just my favorite character of all time. Love him. So, obviously, there's a big difference. Now, when it comes to whether or not you should get Baizhu C6 or even his weapon, that is completely up to you. I can't... There you go. I can't tell you. See, I have 40 minutes left to do this. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. I obviously can't tell you to like, oh, definitely go for C6R5 Baizhu. Worth it. For me, obviously worth it. Don't regret it. However, if you want to go for Baizhu, or if you don't have him, or if you have him and you want to know like, oh, where should I stop? If you're F2P, I leaned we're just getting like C1 and then stopping. C1 is like perfect. Because I think that any character that gives you like an extra charge or gives you a cooldown reduction or something along those lines as a C1 is always worth it. But since Baizhu is a healer, having more of his actual healing part of his kit would make a lot of sense. So if I were you, if you're F2P and you're like, I like Baizhu, but I don't know if I want to get a C6, I don't know if it's worth it. I think it is, but if you don't think it is, stop at C1. C1 is not 100% his most useful, obviously. His C2 and his C6 are pretty useful. But if you like F2P or Light Spender, C1 is a good place to stop. You have good orb generation, good healing, and good... Is it crowd? I don't think it's called crowd control for Baizhu's kit. I don't think they would call it crowd control. But for him, he's a good pair with Cyno or Cyno. He's also a good pair with Yae Miko. I love using him with Yae Miko. It's so much fun. But I also enjoy using him with people like Toma for the burning effect, because I think it's just a fun combo. Now, obviously, since he's a dendro unit, he does not interact with Geo, Anemo, or Cryo at all. So keep that in mind if you have a specific character you want to pair him with, that he cannot be paired with those two. Of course, it also could work if you're using a character, let's say Electro, and since it always, Electro and Dendro increase each other's damage, if you're using an Anemo member in your party, they can increase the Electro in your party without being interrupted by Dendro, which is a good sort of, not cut off, a good sort of like balance between it not being affected by Anemo, but also being good for if you're using it against either, using Anemo with either Electro, Pyro, or Hydro. So you get a good effect like that. Overall, love him. Is he worth getting C6? Absolutely not if you're like a low spender or F2P. If you want to go balls to the wall and you have the money, or if you have the wishes, go for it. Hell yeah. If not, stick to just getting C1 at max. That'll be its most useful for orb generation and for general team comps for healing. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go and actually do my dailies because I have not done them yet. All of you be safe. Make good choices. Who do I have in my party?
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you?
I'd say take us out, but you already did it.